Say Taiwan, but it's not a Chinese. I was like, what? I've lived here for 4 years. I didn't know about this. So I went there and tried, and it's really good.
So good.
It's easy to get addicted to Taiwan.
Cole Fogel here on A Healthy Balance, and today I am here with, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I am Lamin. My Chinese name is Lamin, but people call me Lamin.
Where are you from originally?
From Gambia. It's in West Africa.
Okay, cool.
It's a very tiny country, about 2 million people in population.
What's it like?
It's not a well-developed country, but we don't have mountains. It's more like hills that we have. And we have a river that runs right through the country, divide the country into two halves.
What's your favorite side?
Because my grandparents are on the northern side, so I love that side, the childhood memories when I go there. I'm free to play around and do whatever. So the other side is more closer to a city lifestyle, but it's like a town, not compared to Western cities. So you don't, like, parents will not allow you to be free and do a lot of things. You have to be going to school and stuff like that. So, but while I was there, I was able to get to the US because my family moved to the US. So I moved when I graduated from high school, then I moved there with my family, but I kind of like I don't feel like home, I don't feel at home there. So all that I wanted to do is to just go out and study somewhere. And it's hard to study in the US if you're not that rich. And it's even like to get a scholarship, it's those kind of stuff.
It's an expensive country.
Yeah, you have to have very high grades to get a full scholarship. So I just started looking for scholarships everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So I was fortunate to get one in Taiwan. A friend introduced Taiwan.
Well, this is what brought you to Taiwan.
Yeah.
A scholarship.
Because I didn't know much about Taiwan by then. A friend of mine was here.
Yeah.
He said, hey, you want to go out and try apply for scholarships in Taiwan? I said, Taiwan? But it's not a Chinese? He said, yeah, but they have some English programs. So I started looking into schools in Taiwan, so I started applying.
Cool.
And then I got one in Taiwan, one in UK, and one in Russia. And people,
in Russia?
Yeah. People told me, like, Russia and UK, in winter, it's kind of very cold. So I was like, okay, then let me try Taiwan, because the way my friend told me about Taiwan, people are friendly and it's much more free. So
you moved from Gambia to the States. How many years did you live in the States?
About 2 years.
Yeah, where were you living in the States?
Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah, my uncle lives there. So.
Cool.
In Seattle, my life there is kind of a little bit dull because my mom was kind of very worried about anytime I step out. You know, she's way traditional and she's kind of worried I'm going to get tempted and get influenced when I get friends around.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, so that's even like pushed me harder to like just leave the country because I just want to be free.
All right, so you left the States around 20. Left your mom, you came here. Do you remember like the day you arrived?
So but when I get out of the airplane, so whether it's Taoyuan or whether it's Tainan, I don't even know where. So but the car drove like an hour or so to get to the university. So probably is Kaohsiung.
What's the university?
In Tainan.
Oh, in Tainan,
Yeah, I studied in Tainan for 4 years.
Ah, okay. The day you arrived, like what was the weather like? Do you remember that much?
It was in September because it was beginning of semester. So it wasn't raining that day.
It tricked you.
Yeah, so it was sunny. So I didn't know about how much rain and the typhoon thing. Usually people will ask me, oh, is Gambia hotter? I say, well, the Gambia is hot, but I feel like Taiwan is...
Is it a dry hot or a humid hot?
It's dry hot.
Oh, see, I love that kind of hot is great.
Dry hot, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because the hot here is like your skin is melting sometimes.
Yeah, something like that. So I feel suffocated, you know, sometimes with the heat. So people feel like, oh, well, you're dark, you're from Africa, you're supposed to... You know, one thing people misunderstand with Africa, it's a huge continent. The north part is where we have the desert, which is a bit even hotter than the rest of Africa. So we have the north and the east. So but the west, coming down to the south, is not that hot. Because even South Africa, I think they will have snow in winter.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of a bit lonely because I didn't have any friends. But the only friend that introduced me wasn't even around that time. Fortunately, some people from my country also get to the same university. So I was able to meet them. And the university also accepts so many foreigners from different countries. So we kind of have a kind of small society there.
When were you last home, like to Gambia?
2019.
Whoa, it's been a while.
Yeah, so since COVID, I didn't go back.
And then your parents are in the States still?
Yeah, it's only my mom now. My father passed away when I was in senior high school. So, yeah. So, but I still have family in Gambia.
So you got family in the States and you have family in Gambia.
Yes. My mom was even here.
Oh, what was that like? Was that her first time in Asia?
Yes. She couldn't get used to the local dish. She was only eating McDonald's and KFC.
Oh no, Mom, don't do that.
I've tried to introduce her to the local. I said, you came all the way here and you didn't want to try what is really Taiwan.
It was out of her comfort zone.
Yeah, and she was only trying the fried rice.
Oh.
You know. Even now, she will ask me, hey, how is the fried rice? And I say,
okay, so you lived in Tainan for 4 years?
Yeah.
Did you learn Chinese there?
Yeah, when the time I came here, I couldn't speak even ni hao. I didn't even know what is it. You know, so it was challenging, and we had to do a lot of writing. That makes me hate learning Chinese. You know, because the Chinese teacher has to make us write a lot of characters. So,
it's the only way to remember, I guess,
yeah,
right?
So I was like, no, I don't want to do this. So I totally get this interest. During the four years of my bachelor's degree, we have to study Chinese every semester. So yeah, it wasn't fun, but I had to do it.
Did you find the pinyin, for me, is the best way for me to learn Chinese?
Yeah, me too. The pinging makes it easy, and cell phones make people very lazy now. So,
yes. Do you find your listening is better than your speaking, or
yes.
The same for me? I think listening
I tend to understand almost anything people tell me in Chinese.
Yeah.
But for me to express myself, I'll have to think a lot.
Yeah.
What to say.
And did you grow up speaking English, or do you have a native language that you grew up speaking?
We have native languages, but as a child, our official language is English.
Oh.
So everything we do in school, in offices, everything is in English.
Okay, so you lived in Tainan for 4 years, and then when you graduated, is that when you moved?
Yeah, when I graduated, I went back for a month.
To
Gambia.
Gambia, okay.
Yes, and then came back to study my master's. It's easy to get addicted to Taiwan, you know. So
it's an easy lifestyle here,
yes.
Right? Didn't you find
Taiwanese people are nice, and I've been to many places in Taiwan. I've met so many wonderful people, and then I think Taiwan is very beautiful. Especially if you get to the mountains, the view you see is breathtaking, you know.
What was your favorite? Did you have a favorite spot?
During my stay in Tainan, you wouldn't believe it, I don't do anything. I don't travel, I didn't go anywhere. All that I do is school, my room, and then we had a school team, soccer, because I like to play soccer. So,
but you'd call it football, obviously.
Yeah, we call it football. In UK, it's called football. Yeah. In America, it's called soccer.
Soccer,
Yeah, and I was also studying double major, so it has to take a lot of my time.
You must have been a tired dude.
Yeah, so during my 4 year was really tiring. So there was this famous, they call it the beef soup, right? The beef soup.
Yeah.
So what I know is the beef noodles. Could you imagine during my 4 year in Thailand, I didn't even know about that. It's just recent that I was coming around here. I told a friend of mine, I'm going to go to pass by Thailand. He said, when you get there, try the beef noodle. I said, beef noodle? I said, oh, I've tried that many. I said, no. I mean, beef soup. I said, beef soup?
Yeah, with chunks of beef in it.
Yeah. And he was like, Thailand is famous of that. I said, what, really?
Yeah.
So I went there and tried, and it's really good.
So good.
I was like, what? I've lived here for 4 years. I didn't know about this.
Tainan is where you go for the beef soup.
Because of my job, I'll have to move from one school to another. During winter, it rains, like, for example, like today or yesterday, it's raining the whole day. And I have to move from one school to another, like 30 minutes interval, and it will be raining and cold. So I feel like that's terrible.
Yeah.
So there was one evening I went to one school and we finished classes like 8. When we came out, this Chinese teacher get in her car, and I have to put on my rain suit to get on my bike when it's very cold and rainy. I was like, no, I need to get a car.
Good call.
Yeah, so that prompted me to go and get a car. That's where everything starts. When I get a car, I was like...
The world opened up.
Yeah, the world opens up, so I could move everywhere around Taiwan.
So good.
Yeah, it becomes more convenient.
It changed my world as well, having a car. And it's safer, and it's also just nice to not be in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
It makes you not want to go out sometimes when it's raining. You're just getting on a scooter and just dealing with the raincoat and your shoes getting soaked, and it's just...
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite city or place or area in Taiwan?
Because for me, I'm a nature guy. Usually, if you ask me anything about a city, I won't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
So I'm more into mountains and rivers. You know, so Hsinchu is one of my favorite places, like the Judong area.
Okay.
The mountains range is a lot, and there are a lot of waterfalls there. So I tend to go there a lot. So I'll go to hot springs and waterfalls. So Hsinchu, it's also somewhere that has a lot of these. Nantou is another favorite place.
You've lived here now 12 years, you said?
Yes.
What's your feeling, and be honest, about the education system?
The way kids, you grow up in Taiwan and go to school in Taiwan, you know, it translates to their working environment.
Yeah.
So they tend to work very hard, because while you're going to school, you have to study very hard. All they do is study, 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 homework, study, study. Go to school in the morning, from school, go to cram school, and by the time they get home, it's already 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And then what do? Maybe get home, rest a little bit, take your shower, right? Still have to do a little bit of homework, and then sleep the next day.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, in that circle. And even some on Saturdays, some kids, when I ask them, what do you do on Saturday and Sunday, they would say, oh, I go to cram school, I have these classes, you know. So I think kids, all they want it in their mind is to play. So if you deprive them from that, whatever you ask them to do, they will not tend to put too much effort in it. I teach in a cram school. So when kids, anytime they come to class, they're kind of tired and exhausted.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, same thing over and over. If that could be lessened a little bit, I'm not sure it's gonna happen.
I don't know if it's gonna change, but I just wanted your thought on it.
Yeah, so I feel like kids are under too much pressure to have to study all the time.
So if you could give one message to the parents, what would you say to them?
I could understand the parents a bit, because they also have to go to work.
And the parents also went through the same education system.
Exactly, yeah. So you could understand that parents don't want to leave kids alone at home, because both mom and dad had to go to work. So then, but Saturdays and Sundays, let them take out the kids, let them keep them time to play and do other things.
Because the playing is also emotional growth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think cram school, like, I think if it's once or twice, like if it's like 1 or 2 times a week, it's not a big deal. I think every day it's a bit much. Could you see yourself living here forever? Like, do you think this is the country that you might stay in forever, or do you think you'll eventually move on?
So far, for now, I think I'm gonna live here for the rest of my life, possibly.
Wow.
Travel around though, but I wanted to settle down here, and yeah.
Are you in a relationship now?
Yes.
The same one that you mentioned?
One.
Wow, okay. How many years have you guys been together?
I think I came in Taiwan like 1 year, second year. Yes, I think we started being together the second year.
Beautiful.
Then. So probably we'll get married.
She's from Tainan?
Oh, Taichung.
Was it love at first sight?
It was unexpected, because a friend of mine had a date with her friend.
Oh,
and because that her friend couldn't speak English well, so the friend invited her. So my friend told me, oh, I'm going on a date with this girl, but she invited a friend, so why don't you tag along? I said, okay. During that day, we didn't even communicate that much, but she was so nice to everyone, so we changed Facebook stuff, sort of. So from there, we started talking.
So it was a unexpected romance.
Yeah.
Wow, and that's, sorry, how many years is that? That's...
It's like 10 years now.
10 years.
10 years. Yeah, the family is very nice to me.
Well, it was nice chatting with you. Any final words of wisdom?
I think, like, for me, I believe life is short. So you should, like, try to do what you can when you can.
We really don't know how long we're going to live for. We should embrace the moment as much as we can.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for tomorrow if you can do something today. So just do what you can.
Well, I appreciate this conversation. All right, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Be kind to your neighbor. Get out into nature, and I will see you in the next one.